Hi everyone. Okay, so this is Carly and Staff, and we're gonna shoot this video low budget because it's me again. Low budget, no directing, no special mics on each one. We have to actually hold the mic on this one because Lisa's up on somewhere in Reunion Island, hiking somewhere in a jungle over there, and we've got the low budget derivative of what we're about to tell you. So this is all about DNA core, and I'm gonna ask Carly like the dumb questions because there's a lot of times people like really can't decipher this DNA thing. They think, wait a minute, it's too expensive. What is this? It's like $5,000 I'm paying for this thing. What am I getting? It doesn't make sense. So before we kick off and kind of get into the details of it, let's talk about like DNA. Okay, so just broadly speaking, DNA, what is it about? And then I want to kind of delve into some of the questions and we can get to DNA core, which we want to talk about first. Or should we start with DNA core?
Maybe DNA as a background first would be good.
Right.
So I think what a lot of people forget is that your DNA doesn't change, right? So if you do your test once, that's it forever. You don't have to keep doing it every year like a blood test to see how the results have changed. Your genetic code is set. You're born with that set of results.
So again, this is going to happen a lot. So that's it. So it's one test. And then when you get the test results back, you can then tick and say, I want to do health, sport, diet, estrogen, core, etc.
Yeah.
Now, this test that's come along right now is DNA core.
Yeah.
Okay, so why should I get DNA core? Because already we've got DNA health, we've got DNA sport, we've got DNA diet, etc. Now I'm being told like DNA core is an amalgamation of all of these things together, and it's better. Why?
So it's essentially like a comprehensive overview of health, diet and sport. It contains all of the genes in DNA, health, diet and sport, but the way it is formatted is totally different to doing the report separately. So it's got like really, really stunning diagrams and pictures, and it's easy for the consumer to understand. It's not full of scientific jargon.
Like it used to be.
Yeah, it's much easier to understand, better worded, but all of the scientific intricacies for the practitioner, for me, are still there. So I can still understand exactly how the report is wired and designed, and I can understand which genes you carry, which genes you don't carry. But for the consumer to take home and to keep reading through and to refer back to, it's really, really nice.
Okay, so what's inside of DNA core?
So core comprises of all of the genes in DNA health, plus a few extra from a nutritional requirement perspective. So that's everything that looks into cholesterol metabolism, insulin genes, glucose genes, inflammation, detox, bone health, glucose, gluten, lactose, looks at caffeine sensitivity, vitamin requirements, but it goes into a big chunk of vitamin requirements.
So this sounds like a lot of stuff that you're going to get across multiple other tests in one.
Yeah.
So what does it cover? So if I do DNA core,
you're getting all of health,
right?
All of diet, which is for weight management, and all of sport, which is the exercise performance side as well.
Oh, wow. So you're getting all of that in one test?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds quite extensive.
Very comprehensive, similar to Bailey, and that's why I have done a comparison report. Bailey, however, though, is snippets of each of those reports. So it takes what Lisa and I thought were the most important genes, essentially, from DNA, health, diet, and sport in one report. So the Bailey price is still more affordable than core, but with core, you're getting the whole bang shoot. You're getting everything that's in diet, health, and sport for a better price than doing the 3 tests separately.
Okay, that was the other thing, was I noticed like the price
is better.
Was better.
Yeah.
Right.
So the lab has done that, actually. That's them. They're wanting to use DNA core as like a first generation or first step, a foundational test in doing
but let's
the
just
genetics.
clarify. So are you going to be the person holding the mic?
I can.
Let me hold the mic. It's
Fine,
like more
okay,
gentlemanly, I
feels
think.
weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So DNA core is cheaper than getting those 3 tests combined.
Or doing them separately, yeah.
Or doing them separately.
So if you had to order 3 DNA tests, health, diet, and sport, it would be more expensive than doing DNA core.
We should actually say it differently because it's not 3 DNA tests. What it is it's one test that gives you results for sport, for diet, for that. But it's one test, right?
Yeah, it's one test.
Okay, so DNA core is kind of all of those. So when I've done DNA core, then I don't have to go off and do those others again.
No. You mustn't do DNA core and DNA health.
Okay,
otherwise,
so
you'll get repetition.
Got it. And then the second thing is when I get these results, what's different this time is not just the price and the amalgamation. What's different is the fact that these are better deciphered. So I could understand them better than before.
Yeah.
So the results coming back is more layman.
Yes, and of course with going for the reports separately, I still explain them and people can record the session if they want to. So the info is all there with doing the test separately, but now it's written down really beautifully. It's summarized in a very easy, practical way to understand.
Okay, now here's the dumb question's going to come. Okay, so why is this thing so expensive? Break it down. What am I getting in these tests? Not the test results themselves, but the elements. So it's the test, it's the consultation, it's the take me through the journey, because like it's not inexpensive. So just what am I getting in the package? And you always talk about, when you talk about it, like it makes sense to me. And well, this part, if you're on medical aid, you can go get this done. So explain, just unpack that.
Okay, so in terms of why the tests are expensive, the lab cost is there as well, because your results your actual sample sits in a machine. It's this PCR extraction that happens. They extract all of your DNA, they map out your genetic code, and then it's obviously all of the tests that have taken years and years and years to develop and build that your genetic material gets coded into. And then the consults are included.
I wish we could actually go into a lab and actually see the scientists actually doing it. I know it's confidential and there's some proprietary aspects. I know that Danny and the guys at DNA Analysis don't like to give away that stuff, but it's truly, if you take a look at
some snippets,
maybe snippets, but I mean, for you folks watching, it's very scientific. It's like your results go in, that blood goes in, it goes through this whole process. There's lots of this expensive equipment and machinery,
titrating and all
this
chemistry stuff that I don't know about, but that's what happens.
Okay, so that's the lab part.
And then when we get the report, I think what a lot of people have been confused about recently is that they think they have to book in another additional consult with me to go through their results. You don't. That's included in the actual bundle package. It's only if you want an eating plan additional to me going through your results, that's extra. But the feedback consults are built into all of our prices on the e-store.
Okay, so now the feedback, how much time do I get of Carly post the results?
So it depends on which test you do. If we're talking DNA core now, I include at least a 30 to 40 minute initial consult where we'll go through your history, what you're currently doing, what supplements you're on, any prior blood tests, and then at least 90 minutes for DNA core, 90 minutes to 2 hours.
So wait, so there's a consultation before the test happens?
I like to do it together. So what I'll often do with, let's say, DNA core is we'll go through the initial consult and the DNA health component of DNA core. Then I might want you to do extra blood tests. I'll send you a referral form to go to Lancet or Ampath or whatever it is to check your cholesterol, to check your inflammatory marker, whatever it might be. And then we meet again the following week or the week after, and then we go through the diet and the sport component. So it's a good at least 2 hours with me if it's DNA core. If it's 5 or 6 tests, we need 3 or 4 sessions to go through everything. So I am very thorough. I don't just skim over the reports. We go through everything and make sure you understand it properly.
I think, and that's the value proposition that people don't understand. It's not like a test and it's that you're getting this hand holding. And a lot of people have said, why can't I just get the test? And we don't do that. And the reason we don't do that is because you won't be able to decipher that, number one. Number two is the stuff that you think is inside that test, you may misinterpret. So the translation of the test relative to who you are that we pick up in it and the practical changes that you can make. I mean, what Carly did for me, I'll never forget when you did my DNA. We've got the Instagram post about it, but you came into my cupboard and then you were like, these vitamins no, that vitamins no. And you know what? I've saved money. If you take a look at how much that DNA test cost me, I saved probably 600-700 rand of vitamins per month since then, and that's made up more and more. So the ROI on this is massive. So when I always talk to people about the ROI, and this is where I need you to kind of nod and go, no, Staff, don't say that. But when they come into the store, we generally engage with them on social media. We say, number one, look at all the value. I mean, this is a lab test. This is like scientists with expensive equipment. You've got this professional human being that I call you the DNA whisperer because I just think you're so good at it. And she sits with you for all of this time. Then if you get this targeted fix, it's going to save you so much money immediately out the gate. And then, when your health's targeted, it takes the guesswork out, your results are better, quicker, and it saves you money. And it's just it's like a no-brainer. You should just be doing it because it actually saves money in the long run.
It teaches you so much about your health as well. So now okay, these are my risky genes. This is what I need to look out for instead of wondering what if and what's going to happen and what blood test should I be doing. Because unfortunately, the reality is if you had to go and ask a GP for test everything, they won't test everything. They don't test really all of the functional tests that we should be looking at. So you think you're getting a comprehensive blood test, but whereas you might not be, especially relative to your genetics. You want to know what should I be on the lookout for, what preventative action and intervention can I take to prevent diabetes or cholesterol or whatever it might be. So it's just so empowering to know this is how my body is structurally wired and this is how I'm programmed to function and this is what I can do about it. It's really, really helpful. It's
I
amazing.
mean, it's like the step to take. So if you want to make a change, go ahead, and now you can. DNA Core is available. It's more cost effective. It combines multiple tests, so it's a very verbose report that comes back. So it's sport, diet, and health, kind of in one, and that's a lot. Like DNA Sport, what type of sports you should be doing, your just your makeup relative to physical activity. That's very, very fascinating. Injury risk, exactly. Many soft tissue damage, recovery rates. Health is a big one. I mean, just that's an incredible test. And I just get this. DNA Core is amazing. The price is amazing. The results that you're going to get back is it's much easier to decipher, and then you get all this time with Carly. If you're on certain medical age, you can get some rebates relative to that. So it's a no-brainer. So go get DNA Core.
Yep, absolutely. And I had a patient yesterday who was sitting with me, and I said, because he did his executive health check at a lot of the big companies do that, and I said, well, why isn't there a dietitian assessment in here? And he said, no, I opted not to see the dietitian because if you're not doing bloods, if you're not doing DNA, you're essentially guessing. And he's not really wrong. You kind of are. You need this data to make informed decisions around health, weight management, exercise performance, sleep, stress management, all of that. It's really, really helpful.
Awesome.
Supplements. So yeah.
So awesome. So look, if you're a parent, what we did with our kids, I think it was on their 18th birthdays, we got them DNA tests. I think it's an incredible gift. If you want to give someone a gift that's not something that's temperamental or seasonal, it's forever, give them a DNA test. I mean, if you're thinking about Christmas presents end of the year already now, if you guess what, you can actually lay by your DNA costs now. Yes, we can lay by now. So if you go to Layup on our e-store, you can lay by. So you can set up an own payment plan and make a commitment to yourself to make this investment relative to this. Obviously, our payment plans are always there. If you can't afford the big ticket and you want to pay it off, we got like Payflex and all of those folks over there. So go take a look at that. I think this is the first step that you take, because then you have data driving every single thing that you're doing, not opinion. Some people come and say, I'm doing Banting, or I'm doing keto, or I'm doing like intermittent fasting, and I'm like, but why? How do you know that's working for 100%. You in the long run? And maybe you may be losing weight, etc., but you don't know what the detrimental impact is. And these tests actually tell you, what changes you should make relative to who you are, because there's nobody else like you. Okay, Carly, thank you.
Pleasure, Staff.
Low budget, Lisa's fault, on a mountain, having fun.
Doggies here.
And we working. See, babe, we working.